Yes, welcome back. It's a bit more than 8 p.m. I'd like to read this three PDF, Oregon and Southern Oregon. I will do that. Then I will continue my computer PDF. Just read about Radeon and graphic cards. So that's what we can delete the graphic cards and Radeon. We need the computer graphic. So next is computer graphic. Then we do all this many. But we will put that later an update tomorrow. So just do webcams of this train mountain railroad in Chilequin. It's a little bit south of this Crater Lake National Park. Now I have to adjust my camcorder because so I have rebooted my computer. So the auto read should work. And I have to check my cell phone. Yes, and alarm clock is on. So I need minutes to go to my bed and do myself ready. So if I come to Oregon or the Trail Mountain Railroad in Chilequin, I should try to get up here.
Crater Lake National Park. Crater Lake National Park IUCN Category 2, National Park, above Crater Lake, cropped. .jpg. Panoramic view of Crater Lake map showing the location of Crater Lake National Park. Map showing the location of Crater Lake National Park. Location in Oregon map showing the location of Crater Lake National Park. Map showing the location of Crater Lake National Park. Location in the United States. Location Plymouth County, Oregon, United States. Nearest city Klamath Falls. Coordinates 42 degree 5443 and 122 degree 0853 W. Coordinates 42 degree 5443 and 122 degree 0853 W. Area 183224 acres, 741.48 square kilometers. 1. Established May 22, 1902. Visitors 720,659 in 2018. 2. Governing Body. National Park Service website. Crater Lake National Park. Crater Lake National Park is an American national park located in southern Oregon. Established in 1902, Crater Lake is the fifth oldest national park in the United States and the only national park in Oregon. 3. The park encompasses the caldera of Crater Lake, a remnant of Mount Mazama, a destroyed volcano, and the surrounding hills and forests. The lake is 1,949 feet, 594 m, deep at its deepest point, 4, which makes it the deepest lake in the United States, the second deepest in North America and the ninth deepest in the world. 4. Crater Lake is often referred to as the seventh deepest lake in the world, but this former listing excludes the approximately 3,000 foot, 910 m, depth of subglacial Lake Vostok in Antarctica, which resides under nearly 13,000 feet, 4,000 m, a Vice and Essent report of a 2,740-foot, 840 m, maximum depth for Lake O'Higgins/San Martin, located on the border of Chile and Argentina. However, when comparing its average depth of 1,148 feet, 350 m, to the average depth of other deep lakes, Crater Lake becomes the deepest in the Western Hemisphere and the third deepest in the world. The impressive average depth of this volcanic lake is due to the nearly symmetrical 4,000 foot deep, 1,200 m, caldera formed 7,700 years ago during the violent climactic eruptions and subsequent collapse of Mount Mazamar, and to relatively moist climate that is typical of the crest of the Cascade Range. The caldera rim ranges in elevation from 7,000 to 8,000 feet, 2,100 to 2,400 m. The United States Geological Survey benchmark elevation of the lake surface is 6,178 feet, 1,883 m. The national park encompasses 183,224 acres, 286.3 square mi, 741.5 square kilometers. 1. Crater Lake has no streams flowing into a root of it. All water that enters the lake is eventually lost from evaporation or subsurface seepage. The lake's water commonly has a striking blue hue, and the lake is refilled entirely from direct precipitation in the form of snow and rain. Park purpose. As stated in the Foundation document SAD Smiley 5, Crater Lake National Park forever preserves Crater Lake, scenic landscapes, volcanic features, and unique ecological and cultural heritage, and fosters understanding and appreciation through enjoyment, education, and inspiration. Geology. Satellite view of Crater Lake. Volcanic activity in this area is fed by subduction off the coast of Oregon as Juan de Fuca plate slips below the North American plate. See plate tectonics. Heat and compression generated by this movement has created a mountain chain topped by a series of volcanoes, which together are called the Cascade Range. The large volcanoes in the range are called the High Cascades. However, there are many other volcanoes in the range as well, most of which are much smaller. About 400,000 years ago, Mount Mazamar began its existence in much the same way as the other mountains of the High Cascades, as overlapping shield volcanoes. Over time, alternating layers of lava flows and pyroclastic flows built Mazamar's overlapping cones until it reached about 11,000 feet, 3,400 m, in height. Relief map of Crater Lake area. As the young stratovolcano grew, many smaller volcanoes and volcanic vents were built in the area of the park and just outside what are now the park's borders. Chief among these were cinder cones. Although the early examples are gone, cinder cones erode easily. There are at least 13 much younger cinder cones in the park, and at least another 11 or so outside its borders, that still retain their distinctive cinder cone appearance. There continues to be debate as to whether these minor volcanoes and vents were parasitic to Mazamar's magma chamber and system, or if they were related to background Oregon Cascade volcanism. After a period of dormancy, Mazamar became active again. Then, around 5700 BC, Mazamar collapsed into itself during a tremendous volcanic eruption, losing 2,500 to 3,500 feet, 760 to 1,070 m, in height. The eruption formed a large caldera that, depending on the prevailing climate, was filled in about 740 years, forming a beautiful lake with a deep blue hue, known today as Crater Lake. 6. The eruptive period that decapitated Mazamar also laid waste to much of the greater Crater Lake area and deposited ash as far east as the northwest corner of what is now Yellowstone National Park, as far south as central Nevada, and as far north as southern British Columbia. It produced more than 150 times as much ash as the May 18, 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens. This ash has since developed a soil type called andesol. Soils in Crater Lake National Park are brown, dark brown or dark grayish-brown sandy loams or loamy sands which have plentiful cobbles, gravel and stones. They are slightly to moderately acidic and their drainage is somewhat excessive. Climate. November panorama from Rim Village. During winter, the road up to Rim Village is normally plowed but Rim Drive is closed. According to the Köppen climate classification system, Crater Lake National Park has a dry summer subarctic climate, DSC. The Planthardinus zone at the lake is 6B with an average annual extreme minimum air temperature of 3.7 degree F, 19.8 degrees C. 7. Snow is relatively rare at low elevations in western Oregon, but it is common at higher elevations, especially at Crater Lake. Measurements at park headquarters, 6,475 feet, 1,974 m, above sea level, showed that snow falls more often here than at any other long-term weather station in Oregon. Winter, which typically begins at the park in September and runs through June, includes an average of 101 days with measurable snowfall. Up to 37 inches, 94 centimeters, of snow have fallen on the park in a single day, in 1937, 1951, and 1971, 313 inches, 800 centimeters, in a month. January 1950, and 903 inches, 2,290 centimeters, in a year, 1950. 8. Snow typically accumulates in the park to depths of 10 to 15 feet, 3.0 to 4.6 m, by early spring. Most of the park's roads remain closed through late spring, and snow lingers into the summer. In July and August, snowfall is uncommon, and one magnificent day typically follows another. 9. December is the coldest month, when highs average about 33 degrees Fahrenheit, 1 degree Celsius, and lows average about 19 degrees Fahrenheit, 7 degrees C. August is the warmest month, with an average high of roughly 69 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius, and an average low of about 42 degrees Fahrenheit, 6 degrees Celsius. The highest recorded temperature was 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 degrees Celsius, and the lowest was 21 degree F, 29 degrees C. Annual precipitation averages about 67 inches, 1,700 millimeters, a year. December is the wettest, averaging about 11 inches, 280 millimeters. Although snow covers Crater Lake National Park for 8 months of the year, average annual snowfall is 463 inches, 1,180 centimeters. The lake rarely freezes over due, in part, to a relatively mild onshore flow from the Pacific Ocean. The last recorded year in which the lake froze over was in 1949, a very long, cold winter. A 95% surface freeze occurred in 1985. The immense depth of Crater Lake acts as a heat reservoir that absorbs and traps sunlight, maintaining the lake temperature at an average of 55 degrees Fahrenheit, 13 degrees Celsius, on the surface and 38 degrees Fahrenheit, 3 degrees Celsius, at the bottom throughout the year. The surface temperature fluctuates a bit, but the bottom temperature remains quite constant. Climate data for Crater Lake National Park Headquarters, Oregon, 1991-2020 normals, extremes 1919 present month Jan Feb Maraparamejan Julag Spoktnov Disia record high degree F, degree C, 64, 18, 66, 19, 67, 19, 71, 22, 80, 27, 96, 36, 100, 38, 94, 34, 93, 34, 81, 27, 71, 22, 64, 18, 100, 38, mean maximum degree F, degree C, 49.4, 9.7, 49.5, 9.7, 53.0, 11.7, 59.3, 15.2, 66.7, 19.3, 73.8, 23.2, 81.1, 27.3, 81.8, 27.7, 77.7, 25.4, 69.7, 20.9, 56.4, 13.6, 47.7, 8.7, 83.3, 28.5, average I degree F, degree C, 33.4, 0.8, 33.6, 0.9, 36.1, 2.3, 40.3, 4.6, 49.0, 9.4, 57.0, 13.9, 68.9, 20.5, 69.3, 20.7, 63.0, 17.2, 50.7, 10.4, 38.0, 3.3, 32.7, 0.4, 47.7, 8.7, daily mean degree F, degree C, 26.6, 3.0, 26.3, 3.2, 28.2, 2.1, 31.7, 0.2, 39.2, 4.0, 45.3, 7.4, 55.1, 12.8, 55.4, 13.0, 50.1, 10.1, 40.4, 4.7, 30.6, 0.8, 25.9, 3.4, 37.9, 3.3, average low degree F, degree C, 19.8, 6.8, 18.9, 7.3, 20.3, 6.5, 23.1, 4.9, 29.3, 1.5, 33.6, 0.9, 41.4, 5.2, 41.5, 5.3, 37.1, 2.8, 30.2, 1.0, 23.2, 4.9, 19.1, 7.2, 28.1, 2.2, mean minimum degree F, degree C, 5.9, 14.5, 5.4, 14.8, 6.6, 14.1, 10.3, 12.1, 17.1, 8.3, 24.2, 4.3, 31.7, 0.2, 31.4, 0.3, 26.1, 3.3, 17.8, 7.9, 9.0, 12.8, 4.2, 15.4, 0.7, 18.2, record low degree F, degree C, 21, 29, 18, 28, 7, 22, 3, 19, 5, 15, 10, 12, 18, 8, 16, 9, 16, 9, 3, 16, 7, 22, 18, 28, 21, 29, average precipitation inches, millimeter, 10.10, 257, 7.53, 191, 7.81, 198, 6.16, 156, 3.65, 93, 2.27, 58, 0.80, 20, 0.83, 21, 1.93, 49, 4.80, 122, 9.60, 244, 11.28, 287, 66.76, 1696, average snowfall inches, centimeter, 86.5, 220, 68.9, 175, 71.9, 100.